Well, good morning, my friends. It's Dr. Suzy Harris from Cedar Natural Health Center. And I am trying a new thing of just recording myself when I have some ideas to share with you rather than trying to find time in my day to sit down and do a video and all of that. So I want to let you know that I'm going to do a couple of solo podcasts, just kind of bringing you some truth about where I'm at these days with my practice and the things I've seen in here the last couple of years. And I am going to start taking the gloves off a little bit and talking about the truths that I see that are very risky things to talk about if you want to keep your license around here. And I've come to a place where I really can't care anymore about that. So if they take my license, they take my license, my people. I can't stand here and watch what happens go by my eyes and not share it with the people I love. So what I'm talking about is the truth about what could have been during the time of this pandemic. I'm not sure if you're aware that within a month or two, Dr. Pierre Corey, who's a world-renowned medical doctor, epidemiologist, pulmonologist, he took on creating a study of 3 groups of people. I think there were probably 1,100 folks in each group. He did a control study. I'm going to teach you what that means because it doesn't happen in most of the science that's for the drugs that you think are safe, including the shots that you get. Placebo group gets nothing. The other group gets the tested substance, and you compare the data between the two. We don't have studies on a lot of the drugs and pretty much any of the shots, including the ones that you've known about for years for the childhood schedule. There's no placebo testing alongside of that to see how do people do that choose not to go that route. His team of doctors leaned back into, I think it was 2010 maybe, when H1N1, which was also a bioweapon made in a laboratory, they figured out how to treat it. They used hydroxychloroquine, they used ivermectin, high-dose vitamin C, and there's a few other things. This is not medical advice for you, by the way. This is just me telling you the story. So they took what they knew about H1N1 because SARS-CoV-2 wasn't very different. It was a shift, but still, they tried the old protocols with a few tweaks, and we're getting an 89% survival rate in all ages. Most people that were struggling with hospitalization and death with COVID were our elders or people who were in their late stages of cancer or other devastating diseases. You were not told the truth about that. You were not told the truth about that. And if anybody tried to tell you the truth about that, they either ended up dead or out of a job. So I'm kind of done kid gloving this stuff. By the way, if I end up dead, I'm not a suicidal person, but I'm really not afraid of that anymore, or losing my license or my practice and all the stuff I built over the last 25 years. So I'm going to be coming to you with data to share, doctors to listen to, papers that I read. You'll either get to have it or you won't, because most of the things I say, if I were to put them out on social media, would be blocked. Most of the posts that I do are blocked because they're not in step with the narrative. Our great state of Vermont receives a ton of federal money to fund the coercion project of getting people to follow lockstep into this narrative that includes ignore and suppress the truth about what can be used to keep people out of trouble with anything like COVID. We can take this into cancer, autoimmune, Lyme disease. There's so many different things that are in this same category. So you don't get to hear the doctors that are on the ground with clinical data that can show you how they are successfully treating things. And what you do get to hear is the pharmaceutically funded, less successful, but it is the gold standard protocol, and it involves the pharmaceutical industry and nothing else. And so we're even going so far now as to have laws passed that if doctors like myself are talking like this, we're considered domestic terrorists because we are disseminating misinformation about what's happening here. I don't know what country this is. It's not the one I was born into. Maybe it was, and I just didn't realize it. But yeah, I love you guys, and my passion is getting people in touch with information so they can make informed decisions, and then having complete autonomy and bodily sovereignty to choose what they would like to do for themselves or their families, and their God-given right to run their own lives and not be penalized, put in jail, forced to do something to keep a job, keep a kid in school, be able to come into a hospital and visit a sick person. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. I'm not quite sure where we are. What is this place? So thank you for listening, and the upcoming podcasts will be one subject at a time because it can be overwhelming, and just give you an opportunity to do your own thinking. How about that? Critical thinking, looking at information and making a decision. I swear, we spend more time vetting and researching the next car we're going to buy, even down to a toaster oven. What the heck? So I just realized that my energy was plummeting and my soul was sinking, and it pretty much was because I was avoiding speaking my heart and sharing my truth with you and the things that I've seen. And I love you very much, and I'm excited to see a world return to connection to one another, human beings, human touch, laughter, love, sharing meals, being outside in the sun, having fires, being near water. These are all of the things that make us a collaborative, non-divisive, loving group of people, a species that cares for one another. And we're stuck in a situation of lack, fear, corruption, control, money-driven propaganda that keeps us fighting and distracted amongst ourselves, so we don't get to notice that the folks that have the power are definitely reaping the benefits off our backs as long as we stay uninformed and afraid and confused. So I'm not down for that. I'm joining in with Children's Health Defense, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Pierre Corey, Dr. Diederik Klinghardt, Dr. Henry Ely. These are all doctors who have really taken it to the mat and who refuse to lay down. So I want to be in that group. That's how I want to be walking my life out. So thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more.